Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about how to install WXWidgets on codeblocks. So the first thing you'll need to do is go to the WXWidgets website and download the source code. That's WXWidgets.org. And we'll just go to Downloads and download whatever is appropriate for your system. Okay, we'll put that on the desktop and we can extract it. You'll also need CMake on your system, so if you haven't already, go to cmake.org. Go to Download. And download whatever is appropriate for your system. We also want to make sure that GCC is in the path environment variable. We do that by opening a command prompt and typing gcc-version. You should see the version information show up. If you don't, you need to add GCC to the path environment variable. The way that you do that is you go to your codeblocks installation. So here we have codeblocks. We go to MinGW, bin, and then we copy this path. And then we go to Windows Start menu and start typing environment variable. When you get here, we go to environment variables, path, edit, new, and paste in the path we copied previously. I'm not going to do this because I already have it in there. Now if you restart your command prompt and type gcc-version, you should see your version information. If you don't, you'll have to repeat those steps. The next thing we'll have to do is compile WXWidgets. For that, we're going to need the CMA GUI. This text field at the top needs to point at the WXWidgets source code. So we'll go ahead and copy this. Paste that in. This bottom field can point anywhere. What this does is CMake will put all of its files that it generates into whatever directory you point this at. So usually what I'll do, I'll point this to the source code folder. And then I'll create a subdirectory called build. In this case though, the WXWidgets source code already has a folder called build. So I'm going to create a folder called CMake. And I'll create another subdirectory called debug. And now we can configure our project. And you can select the generator. The one that I'm going to use is the codeblocks MinGW makefiles generator. CMake's going to give us a chance to configure our build. So make sure the advanced checkbox and the group checkbox is checked. So your CMake GUI will look like mine. And we'll go to CMake. And we just want to make sure this is on debug. And we're going to go to WX build. And I just want to make sure that the build shared option is checked. Then we can click configure again and generate. And we need to do the same thing for the release version of the library. So we'll go up here and we'll just change this to release. Configure. We'll use the same generator. Okay, we need to configure the build again. So we'll go to CMake and we'll just put this on release. And then we'll go to WXBuild. Make sure this is on shared. And then we can configure and generate. Okay, that's all we need the CMake GUI for. Now we're going to build WXWidgets. I also want to install WXWidgets, which means we need to open codeblocks with admin privileges. So go to the Start menu and just type codeblocks. And just say Run as Administrator. We just need to point codeblocks at our build folder. So we just say File, Open, Desktop, WXWidgets, CMake, Debug, and WXWidgets.cbp. Now we're just going to click Build. It'll take maybe, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes to build WXWidgets. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so WXWidgets has finished building. The next thing we're going to do is install it. So we'll go to our drop-down list and we'll select Install. And then we'll just click the build icon. And once that's done, we're going to go ahead and close out this project. And we'll open the next project. So we'll go to the parent directory, release, click on the CBP file, and then we'll switch to the all target, and we'll build it. And again, this is going to take 20 to 30 minutes, so we'll pause the video and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay everybody, and we're back. So now that WXWidgets has finished building, we'll need to install it. So we'll just go to the drop-down menu and we'll select Install, and we'll just click the Build button. Now that it's done installing, we don't need admin privileges anymore. So let's go ahead and restart codeblocks. We'll need to create a new empty project. And I'll just put that project on the desktop. And of course, we'll need a main.cpp file. Now we'll need to grab some code from the WXWidgets website. So let's go to WXWidgets.org. And we can get the code from the Hello World example. And the last thing we need to do is configure our project. So we'll need to select the project option from the drop-down menu, and we'll go to Build Options. Notice over here on the left, you have three options. You have the name of your project, debug, and release. If the name of your project is selected, any changes you make apply to both debug and release. If debug is selected, any changes you make only apply to the debug build. And if release is selected, any changes you make only apply to the release build. For now, we'll select the name of our project, and we'll go to Search Directories, Compiler. We need to tell the compiler where to find WXWidgets.h files. So let's go to WXWidgets installation directory. That's on the C drive in the Program Files x86 folder. We'll just scroll down, and you should see WXWidgets down at the bottom. The .h files can be found in the Include directory, so let's go in there and copy this path at the top, and we'll paste that in. And now we'll need to make sure that the name of our project is selected, as well as search directories, except this time we want the linker tab. Now we need to tell the linker where to find the binaries. So let's go back over here to the WXWidgets directory. We'll go to the parent directory, the lib directory, and this gcc_x64 directory. This is where the binaries are, so let's copy this path and paste that in. Okay, that's it for this option here. Now we can select the debug build. Here under search directories, we'll need to make sure the compiler tab is selected. Over here in the source code directory, you'll notice we have two folders, MSWUD and MSWU. MSWUD is the debug version, and this is the release version. Since we're on debug, we'll want to go into this folder here, and we'll want to add this path in here. This is so the compiler can find this setup.h file. Now we need to go to the linker settings, and we'll go back to the binary directory. And we need to tell the linker which libraries we want to link against. For most WXWidgets projects, that will be core and base. So we'll just do a search for core. And you can see we have two results. And the difference here is this one is the debug version and this is release. I can tell this is the debug version because it has UD at the end. So it's 31 UD. Since we're on debug, this is the one we'll be using. So we'll just copy that and paste it in. We don't need the lib at the beginning, so we can delete that. And then we just need base. So again, there are two options. Here's one. And there's the other. So this is the release version of the base library. And this is the debug version because this has the D in the name. So we'll copy this and paste that in. Okay, that's it for the debug build. Now we can go to the release build. And we're going to do the same thing. We'll go to search directories, compiler. Let's get rid of this. This time we're going to use this MSWUD WU directory instead of the MSWUD directory. Okay, and now we can go to linker settings, and we need to add the libraries here. So we'll do a search for core again. This time we want the release version of the library. And then we'll do a search for base. Which is this one right here. And then we can just hit OK. And that's it. It should work now. So let's build it. And there you go. That's the debug version. And let's try release. And there you go. That's all there is to it, guys. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.